how are you today? Today I'm gonna talk about very important German grammar, perfect tense. In German, perfect tense is not actually the perfect tense. It's past indefinite tense, and it is used in conversational German. So let's see how we can form perfect tense in German. We have sein and haben. But we don't know when to use sein and when to use haben. Most of the cases we learn that when there is motion verb we use sein, and when there is not motion verb we use haben. But there is a problem to apply that rule in case of bleiben, stay at home, but bleiben takes the verb sein. So today I'm gonna clarify you that this rule is not okay. We need some rules that explain all these cases. Okay, let's see the example here. Motion verb gehen. So in case of motion verb you change from your location A and you go to B. For example, ich bin heute zum Supermarkt gegangen. Today, I went to supermarket from maybe from house or another location. So you change your location from A to B. So we use bin. That is sein. Second sentence, am Montag ist nach Hause gekommen. Here, he come from outside to house. This is also change of the location, that is with motion verb. So we use verb sein. In case of er, sein change to ist. Let's see in case of non-motion verb. Machen is a non-motion verb, and there is no change of location. Heute habe ich meine Hausaufgaben gemacht. Here, no change of location, so we cannot use sein, we use haben. So in case of ich, we use habe. Number 2, gestern hat sie eine Pizza gegessen. Here, the same case, essen, non-motion verb, so we use had. We did not use sein verb, that is, in case of sie is ist. We did not use, we use had. But what is the fault of this problem? How we cannot explain. Most of the teacher explain that in case of bleiben, in case of bleiben is an exception to the rule. But I raise argument that this is not the case. There is a fault of this rule, motion and non-motion verb, that cannot explain all the things. For example, here we say, am Samstag bin ich zu Hause geblieben. So, geblieben, that means the verb is bleiben, and there is no motion. I am not going from place A to B or B to A. I am not changing my location, but I am using bin. I don't want to say this is exception just to memorize, but there is better rule that can explain this thing. Am Samstag hat Fußball gespielt. In this case, spielen is a motion verb, but we are putting here haben. Again, the teacher said this is the exception. I'm not gonna tell you the exception. I'm gonna clarify after this example. Vorgestern bin ich mit dem Bus nach Deutschland gefahren. This is correct. Fahren is a motion verb, so we use a bin. That is sein. We have no problem with this example. But in the same sentence, we can also say, vorgestern habe ich das Auto nach Deutschland gefahren. This sentence is also correct. There is no problem. But in this case, I drive the car. In this case, I did not drive the bus. But where is the concept of motion or non-motion verb? It cannot explain these two situations. So, I am giving you the solution. The right grammatical rule is transitive verb and intransitive verb. Transitive verbs always we have object, but in case of intransitive verb we don't have a direct object. So let's see, all the sentences are correct in terms of transitive verb and intransitive verb. The first example, ich bin heute zum Supermarkt gegangen. Here there is no direct object, so we use sein. So the rule is, when there is no direct object, we use sein, and if we have direct object, we use haben. That is, in case of transitive verb, we use haben, and in case of non-transitive verb, we use sein. So, heute habe ich meine Hausaufgaben gemacht. Here, Hausaufgaben is the direct object. So, there is a direct object, so we are using haben. Second one, here, am Montag nach Hause gekommen. Here is no direct object. Nach Hause is the location. It's not directly affected by the subject, so it's not the direct object. So we use sein. In case of bleiben, we see am Samstag bin ich zu Hause geblieben. Here there is no direct object, so we are using bin. In this case, am Samstag hat Fußball gespielt. What did he play? Football. So football is the direct object, and we are using haben. Okay? In this, the last example, both the sentences are correct. The first example, we say, vorgestern bin ich mit dem Bus nach Deutschland gefahren. Here there is no direct object, so we are using sein. In case of ich, that is bin. Here, vorgestern habe ich das Auto nach Deutschland gefahren. Here, das Auto is the direct object. So we have direct object, so we are using haben. I think this is very important to understand in this perspective, and we can explain all the situation. We don't need to say this is exception and this is the rule, and then lot of exception coming and we cannot explain. The best grammatical rule here is to understand in the viewpoint of transitive verb and intransitive verb. I'm gonna summarize. When there is direct object, we use haben to make perfect tense. When there is no direct object, we use sein to make the perfect tense. I think it's clear to you. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, please write to the comment box. I'm gonna answer all this question, and also you can give your argument, logic to establish your rule that you think is correct. Thank you so much. I'll be making another video and talking with you. Thank you so much.